Morning everyone, and welcome to today's trading analysis of Bitcoin and XRP. Of course, we've hit the Bitcoin fear and greed index. We've hit the lowest levels since I think ever, and there's a lot of fear in the market. People are calling for companies to liquidate, Bitcoin to go off. Even people say Bitcoin going to zero, maybe that's just being a bit exaggerated, but $3,000, $1,000, $8,000. People are talking for super low prices, and it is a contrary sort of trading signal, sometimes to buy when the blood is on the streets, to buy when there's fear in the market. But that type of trading is not for everybody. But during times like this, it's always good to zoom out a little bit. And so jumping right into the monthly chart of Bitcoin, you can see that Bitcoin's had 3 parabolic rises in its history. The first rise was about 40,000%, which is where most of the crypto millionaires were made. The second rise was 8,000%, and the third rise was 1,600%. So what you can see is that there is certainly a tapering off of this asset class. It means that when there is a bull run, it won't be so insane like it was potentially in 2013, but there is still some upside potential going forward. I don't think crypto is dead, and I don't think this is the end of this asset class. And if you had to then scroll over to the weekly chart, you can see that even on the weekly chart, this is the lowest that the RSI has ever been on the weekly chart. This part here is right in the beginning, is 2012. This was not enough data. And then you can see that we've had a long wick to the bottom here, a long wick there, and we are starting to see these wicks coming. So people are starting to step in and buy. Unfortunately, these people all got liquidated, but this is now in a buy zone. I'm not calling for a bottom. I'm not saying we are at the bottom. I'm not saying, we're going to $100,000. I'm saying, looking at the charts, you can see that there's been a lot of sell-off. A retest back to the 21 moving average is a very plausible scenario. Getting the RSI back up to acceptable level before potential further downside. The cycle analysis are still calling for so October, November is the ultimate low. And as you can see that my arrows here was, well, it's already hit the targets. It's already in the buy zone. So I'm going to do this now. I'm actually just going to extend my target down to 14K. And so even though my targets are now set a little bit lower than it was, my time estimates are still the same, and I'm expecting a little bit of a pullback. So if you're a bear, a little bit of a rally, and a potential more downside going into October, November. Would that be the ultimate low? I'm not sure, but certainly when you look at the cycle analysis of the S&P going forward, those are signals that this is where it's going. But we all know that tomorrow Russia can stop the war, or Fed Powell can start printing more cash, and everything changes, and this entire plan would be out the window and would have to reassess. But for now, this is the way I'm seeing things. If you're looking at the funding rate, you can see that we've now moved again into a positive funding rate, which means there are more longs than shorts. That unfortunately is a negative, and this is why I'm pretty hesitant to go too long too fast, because people are going long, and based on that they probably could get liquidated for that final leg down. XRP had a bit of a better pump yesterday. I think it is because of the news of the trial. One of the commissioners testified that there's no clarity on crypto assets, which is a positive for the Ripple case. And looking at that, you can see a clear wick or a hammer candle forming here at the bottom of a trend in the support zone with a good upside candle with the RSI starting to point up. That is looking good. So a retest up to 50 cents maybe before another down leg. I'm not saying it's going to be lower, it could be a higher low, but that's something to look at. And then if you look at the daily chart, you can see that this is a retest of the breakout zone. So yesterday's pump was quite immense. It was like a 12% in one day, so that's pretty good. Looking at the S&P, you can see the S&P has done the same. Being rejected off the 21 moving average, and then it has moved down, so it's sort of already hit the targets that I've set out. So now probably have to adjust this. I'll adjust this one offline and make these targets a little bit lower, maybe to the just pre-COVID breakdown area, but I probably don't even have to adjust it. This is kind of where I'm thinking. So the price can now go sideways down like this for maybe a falling wedge or something like that. Who knows what it's going to do, but the time horizon source is the same, September, October for the ultimate low, and then that's at least a cycle low. So I'm not sure if it's going to go even lower after that, but if we had to say that is the ultimate low, then making a higher low and up into the new year. Looking at the dollar, looking at the US dollar, you can see that it's now made a nice divergence on the daily chart, and my personal expectation is a little bit of a pullback back down to sort of 101 on the Dixie before the final run up, and that is probably the final capitulation for cryptos. Maybe it will then hit the targets, and also same target September, October. You can see that if that plays out, then it all correlates. So all in all, looking at the charts, I have bought some crypto. I have added to my positions, thinking that even whether this is the bottom or not, I've added to my positions. I've gone up to about 65-70% in my personal position, and the reality is that even if this is not the low, this could potentially be the low. So I don't want to miss that. So I've added to my position, and if the price does go lower, maybe a target goes to 14k or so, I'll add to my position. But for now, I'm comfortable in the fact that I have bought around these levels, and let's see where it takes us. Please like and subscribe, and let's see you on the next one.